Welcome back to our journey through the fascinating world of That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime's Light Novel. Let's continue from the last part, where we left.
Rimuru contemplates a solution to Ultima and Carrera's constant rivalry, fearing Diablo's growing frustration. Recently, Diablo took them into the dungeon for combat training, hoping to instill discipline, but their love for conflict only seemed to increase. Rimuru expresses frustration at the demons' aggressive nature, pondering their behavior and wondering how much longer they can handle the situation. As Benimaru and Rimuru conversed, Diablo returned looking tired. Rimuru thanked him for handling his task, but Diablo expressed regret for not spending time with Rimuru. Rimuru reassured him, indicating they could start their discussion if he was not too tired. Seeing Diablo still able to banter, Rimuru felt relieved and began the briefing with Benimaru. As mentioned before, there were more people moving into the country. One big issue this brings up is how to get all these new folks working. The employment rate is super important for any country. When everyone's got a job, it boosts productivity in the economy. But if there aren't enough jobs, it can lead to tough times and more crime. Figuring this out falls on the leaders, but it's really tough. Some immigrants have skills we need, but others don't. We used to have lots of construction jobs, but that's slowing down now. Skilled workers are okay, they can find jobs easily. But what about those who don't have special skills? That's the tricky part we're trying to figure out. Rimuru devised a solution to the growing challenge of integrating new immigrants into the nation by proposing the establishment of educational institutions managed by Benimaru's forces. As immigration and voluntary enlistment in the army surged, the need for skilled individuals became more apparent. Rumors circulated about the benefits of joining the military, leading to an influx of adventurers and mercenaries as well. While this bolstered the nation's defense capabilities, it also prompted a need for military reorganization in anticipation of potential conflict with the Eastern Empire. Aware of the impending challenges, Rimuru tasked Benimaru with developing a new organizational chart for the military. Then Benimaru presented the proposed military structure to Rimuru, outlining his role as commander and Rimuru's authority as the supreme commander. Rimuru acknowledged the importance of delegating military affairs to Benimaru, considering himself inexperienced in such matters. While Benimaru would have authority within the army, Rimuru retained control over strategic decisions and the ability to appoint officers. Despite any reservations, Rimuru accepted the structure, trusting in their previous discussions and debates. The only appointment Rimuru insisted upon was Gaba as the leader of the new 1st Army Corps. Benimaru expressed initial uncertainty about promoting Gaba to general, reflecting the mixed opinions among the staff. Rimuru understood the concerns about entrusting significant responsibility to Gaba, known for his occasional negligence. However, Rimuru believed in Gaba's commitment to the nation's safety and noted his special training. Despite his shortcomings, Gaba's men trusted him, and Rimuru had faith in his capabilities. Diablo and Xian also supported Gaba's promotion, with Diablo proposing Testarossa as an observer to ensure accountability. Ultimately, Benimaru, acknowledging Gaba's position as one of the Big Four, agreed to his appointment as a general, with the assurance of support if needed. Thus, Gaba assumed the role of an army general. Rimuru carefully examined the organizational chart, focusing on the other corps generals under Benimaru's command. 3 corps were established, with the 1st Army Corps, led by Gata and advised by Hakuro, being the primary topic of discussion. This corps comprised 100 goblin riders, each of them possessing a minus strength and 12,000 green numbers. The original 4,000 members would be promoted, while the 8,000 new recruits would join as privates, operating in groups of 3. In the past year, the nation had seen a significant influx of soldiers, primarily from the creatures native to the forest of Jura. This brought about some challenges as the newer recruits were ranked lower, mostly at D or C level, while the experienced soldiers had been elevated to a formidable B rank. Under Geld's leadership, the 2nd Army Corps was currently deployed across the continent for intelligence and engineering tasks, with plans to serve as the main army during wartime. The Corps consisted of 2,000 yellow numbers, high orcs of a B+ rank, and 35,000 orange numbers, newer high orcs with a C rank. Among them, only 15,000 veterans engaged in combat, while the remainder provided rear support and engineering assistance. The 3rd Army Corps, led by Gable, was an elite flying unit primed for action. Their ranks included 100 members of Team Hiryu, renowned for their exceptional flying and commanding skills, with some reaching an impressive a rank. Accompanying them were 3,000 blue numbers, lizardmen volunteers devoted to Gable, each individually ranked at a C+ level. Their unique expertise lay in aerial combat atop wyverns, although not all members had mounts due to limited availability. Their main tasks will involve supporting and managing wyverns, and it will take some time before they can fully demonstrate their capabilities. However, wyverns, classified as lesser dragons, are quite formidable creatures, each deserving of a high B+ rank. Gibbel has devised a method to capture and raise them, with plans to expand their numbers in the future. Once every member of the Blue Numbers has their own wyvern, their squadron will truly shine. Those were the three groups directly under Benimaru's command. So Geld's leading the second corps, and Gable, the third. Doesn't sound like a problem to me, remarked Rimuru. Yes, I considered a number of possibilities, but these seemed like the safest bets, Benimaru replied. Rimuru didn't need reminding these generals were dependable. Gable, in particular, was skilled in combat and had a sharp tactical mind on the field, despite sometimes being overconfident. He cared deeply for his troops and was considered a rival by Benimaru. And this, Benimaru continued, showing another sheet of paper, is the same as I showed you before, listing 3 more military forces. Those were the 3 corps under Benimaru's command. Rimuru trusted these generals implicitly. He saw no issue with Gable despite his occasional arrogance. He excelled in combat and had a sharp tactical mind on the field. Additionally, he deeply cared for his troops, making him a suitable candidate for the job. As Benimaru presented another sheet of paper listing 3 more military forces, Rimuru nodded in acknowledgement. One unit, led by Gabwa, was Team Kurenai, Benimaru's elite guard consisting of 300 troops, each member ranked A or higher in combat prowess. Rimuru observed Gabwa's impressive combat skills during training sessions, realizing her capability to rival even upper-level magic-born individuals like Jelmud. Assessing the unit as a whole, Rimuru noticed several members who could easily defeat a paladin in battle, indicating their exceptional fighting abilities. While a monster's strength typically relied on their magical power, Rimuru believed that their military training enhanced their combat skills beyond standard evaluations. Despite some exceptional cases like Hakuro, Rimuru recognized the unit's overall proficiency, attributing it to their rigorous training under Hakuro's leadership. Next was Team Kurayami, Soei's group of about 100 intelligence officers. This unit operated secretly under Soei's command, and its existence was known to only a few. Despite its mysterious nature, they were known to be skilled fighters. Soka and the 4 squadron leaders ranked as rankers, with some members even surpassing that level like Glenda Adley. Additionally, individuals who had served sentences in Tempest Justice System, such as Gerard and Ian, now worked under Soei's leadership as part of this unit. Although Soei downplayed their combat abilities, Rimuru believed they excelled in assassinations and possessed significant combat prowess, especially with so many members ranked above A. Despite some ominous rumors surrounding the unit, Rimuru wasn't entirely sure about Soei's intentions with them, but acknowledged their potential as formidable operatives. Last but not least was Cheyenne's Team Reborn, consisting of 100 members in total. Their standout feature was their incredible ability to regenerate, which allowed them to undergo rigorous training and elevate each member to at least a B+ rank. Their growth from previously managing only a C level was the most significant among all our forces. They had proven their mettle in battles against the Crusaders, possibly even achieving a rank status. Although Team Hiryu was currently considered the strongest, Team Reborn had the potential to rival them. Benimaru had assigned them as Rimuru's personal elite force, primarily utilized for missions requiring resilience, such as decoy operations. Despite being Rimuru's guards, they operated independently and prioritized protecting Rimuru above all else, even if ordered otherwise, a situation that Rimuru found both reassuring and troublesome. Additionally, Cheyenne led another group, essentially her fan club, which operated separately from Tempest's official forces. Though their capabilities were unknown, they included Dagrel's sons and experienced adventurers, serving as a backup force despite Rimuru's reservations about their frontline suitability. Rimuru handed the sheet back to Benimaru, expressing approval with a simple "looks good to me." Benimaru agreed, noting that each leader had a personal attachment to their respective teams and suggested they refrain from adding them to the official hierarchy. Shia nodded in agreement and Rimuru concurred, instructing Benimaru to proceed accordingly. Rimuru believed in keeping teams developed personally close by, understanding the bond between leaders and their teams. They also decided not to list Gable's Team Hiryu officially, acknowledging Gaba's close connection to the Goblin Riders despite not being their direct leader. a consideration they plan to maintain even if commanders were to change in the future.
That's it for today, guys, and thanks for watching the video. Stay tuned for next chapter. Until then, goodbye.